vigilante. Resist the system, you know what I'm saying? Feel good right now. Let's get it.
Keep it 100. Hey, minor is the one you want talking to your sons. I can talk about God, I can tell them about drugs. I can show them how to move when they see you in the mud. Get to work and make a brick. It was me and Doc putting everything on the house, investing everything in music, then explain it to the spouse. Came a long way from sleeping on my brother's couch. Really shooter met, call her op, he a vouch. Yeah, I own a few mistakes, but being fake ain't one of these. Matter of fact, I probably kept it too real for TV. I can tell you all the lies your favorite rapper like the dream, like that diamond chain real, and he
I done woke up, slept on me, trying to eat with vultures. Y'all look frail, let me feed the culture. Can't get full of the lead and coke, huh? Still sober? Y'all OD, follow me. Where the rain follow me, king. Yeah, I know the king, Martin Luther King. You ain't really gonna throne, boy, you in a dream. Wake up, y'all don't want it. Down to the wire, better put Marlo on it. And let's soon Chico Milo, homie. And if I'm scared, I guess I don't know it. Cause I'm still going still right where the heat at. And where I ain't supposed to be, that's where I be at. And I spit that, sit back, listen to the truth for the sky crack, and the Lord gets back. Or somebody wants to get back, and they click clack, leave you bent back, looking at your syntax. Never left, but I've been back, cross on my big neck, and I don't rap gospel, I live that. But I'm nothing but a gimmick. You see me in the club, funny, you was in it. Skip a cosign, shout out to the homie Kendrick. And all I hear is crickets when I run into the critics. Oh well, show tells me a lot when they tell me to rock. Keep my eyebrows raised, smell what I'm cooking. And the sales may drop, yeah, the mail may stop, but they ask for the truth, yeah, I'm a dork. They like, how you do that now? Sound kinda nice, boy, who that down? Is everything real good, true and fair? But you probably wouldn't listen if you knew that down. If you knew that down.
The heart beats just a little faster right now, doesn't it? As they stand alone right now. No cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest.
Keep your chin tucked. It's the one and only Ghost with the shadow in the front. Hope you're having a blessed night. I got to get something to say after I say that, bro. Y'all need to help me out or something. Somebody needs to give me something. I got to stop saying what time it is and shit like that. I don't like that. Hold on one second. Let me get something real quick. I was having some technical difficulties. It's not really a problem because today I don't really got a lot of uploads. So it's just the topic that I want to talk about because I don't know, man. People are entitled to their own opinions. It is what it is, but I don't know, man. Sometimes I wonder what people's motives are for being a boxing fan. Like, I do think some of these people have actual motives, bro. Because some of the stuff they say isn't even like, I don't know. If you're a boxing fan, let me start by saying this, bro. What age you think a fighter's prime is in his prime? What age? Now, I know some fighters start late. I know some fighters start when they're like 18, 19 years old. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about the average fighter. What age you think the average fighter, their prime is at? I'm going to say 27 to 29. 27 to 29. The only reason why I say 27 to 29 is because I feel like that's like the peak of where you're still like 100% athletic. And then you should have gained some experience by then. I think once you hit your 30s, and especially in fighting, once you hit your 30s, athletically what you can do athletically starts to like maybe stay the same or go down a bit. But I think around 27, 29 is where a fighter should be at their peak, right? The reason why I'm saying that is because is it just me, man, or like Virgil Ortiz is getting a lot of shit, bro, and it's kind of weird to me because it's like just last week, just the week before, this is why I didn't want to get on Madrimov. You know how everyone was like, yo, he's only got 10 fights. He's only got 11 fights, right? I wasn't getting on Madrimov because I knew he was a champion, bro. Regardless, a 10 fight, he has an extensive amateur background. He was still the champion, and Bud was still moving up in weight to fight this man. So I knew it wasn't an easy fight. You know what I mean? And people have a habit of, because they've never heard of a person, or they've maybe only seen them fight one time, or just because the name isn't really known, they just think it's like trash, man. I get it, man. You have casuals and then you have hardcores, you know, but the past couple of weeks, I saw some so-called hardcores be so damn hypocritical, bro. And I mean hypocrites. I'm gonna tell you why. So when Crawford has a close fight against a champion, right? Their number one thing that they're saying is, oh, this dude was a champion. I know he had 10 fights. He was a champion. He was undefeated. And he hits hard. He was doing a lot of feinting, right? That's what they were saying to defend Bud, right? Virgil has a fucking life and death fight against a champion, gets dropped, gets up, and every time he got dropped, he went forward, and he's catching so much shit. It's so weird to me. And now you got people saying that he shouldn't fight Crawford. Why not? Why not? I don't like, people think there's a triangle theory, or the triangle theory doesn't work. Have we ever seen anybody fight Crawford the way that Virgil Ortiz fights? Crawford doesn't throw that many punches, bro. So if Virgil Ortiz was to keep coming forward, what happens? Okay, what happens if Bud can't knock Virgil out? He couldn't knock out Madrimov. So what happens when he fights somebody and he can't knock them out, and the motherfucker keeps coming forward, being aggressive? We don't know what would happen. You have no idea what will happen. You don't even know if Madrimov can beat Boachuk in the other way around. You don't know that. That's why the triangle theory doesn't work. I feel like fighters get more shit for fucking. To me, I don't know. The title of today, and the reason why I'm asking is because I can already tell people have a different viewpoint, because I could tell by the comments that was already left before I even started the fucking show. So, and that's okay. That's okay. That's why I'm asking, yo. I'm asking because I want to know if I'm looking at things differently. So who you think showed more in their last fight? And what I mean by show more is at 154, Virgil's only had, I don't even count Virgil's last 2 fights at 154. I don't even count them. They were 1 round. I count this fight that he had with Boachuk as his, to me, that's his first actual fight at 154 in my eyes. The other 2 were 1-rounders, had problems making weight, right? Bud, that was his first fight at 154. I'm looking at both of them, and I'm like, there's positive and negatives for both of them. Bud couldn't put Madrimov away, bro. Regardless. And if people are gonna use the excuse where he was feinting or whatever, okay, fine. So you're telling me a bunch of feints is what stopped Crawford from knocking this man out? A bunch of herky jerky? I don't see what's wrong with having all these dudes fight each other. Like, they talking about Virgil need a couple tune-ups. How many tune-ups you want to give the kid? He's 27 years old. To me, a fighter's always going to need improvement. That's number one. I've never seen a perfect fighter. Never. I've never seen it. I don't care if you're 40-0. Me personally, I've never seen a perfect fighter where I'm like, man, he's perfect. He don't need to improve on nothing. Even Floyd, the so-called defensive wizard Floyd, I think there was things that he could have done better. I don't think Floyd would beat a prime Sugar Ray Leonard. That's me. I'm being serious. I think Sugar Ray's offense would be way too much for Floyd. And I think he had just as much IQ as Floyd. Just because he got hit more doesn't mean nothing. Like, to me, when you're taking chances offensively, that's where we get to see who's really, to me, who's really the best fighter. Because a lot of fighters like to play it safe. They don't get hit a lot and they want to win on points. But what about the fighters that actually go all out, go in there and give it their all, come forward and try to knock the dude out? But then another guy goes in there, is fucking mad hesitant. And because he doesn't get hit more, because he didn't take fucking chances, he gets praised. What? What are we doing here, bro? So the dude that doesn't take any chances, bro, gets more praise than the motherfucker that went all out, got dropped, got up, came forward. Then you wonder why people don't want to take chances. Then you wonder why a lot of these young fighters don't want to fight their own, because of this shit right here. Because of this shit. I was looking back today and I'm like, wait a second, bro. So what if Virgil would have went into the fight and was just mad hesitant and didn't want to get hit and then somehow, I don't know, beat Boacek just by this much, a round or two, because at the end he turns on at the end? Would he be getting as much praise as Crawford? Because that's what it looks like to me. I saw a fight of the year, two fighters going all out. I saw one fighter get dropped twice. First time, whatever, bro. Second time, he was dropped. I saw Virgil get tired. I saw Virgil get rocked a couple times. I saw Boacek get rocked. But I saw Virgil leave everything in the fucking ring. I didn't see that from Bud. I'm being dead ass. I didn't see that from Bud. I saw a whole bunch of patience on both sides. I saw two dudes being mad hesitant, and they want to use the excuse, well, he was herky-jerky. You know how confusing that is? You know how confusing that is when you have somebody constantly fainting? Okay. And they fighting, bro. Virgil gets, it's weird. It's like Virgil's getting more shit. Like, to me, Virgil showed me more. Bud showed me he could still be patient and fight behind a jab, but I truly don't know. I truly don't know if Bud could take a shot at 154, or how he acts if he gets dropped, or how he acts if he gets rocked, or how he acts when somebody's backing him up. Because I didn't see none of that. I didn't see none of it. I know how Virgil acts if you drop him now. I know how Virgil acts if you get him hurt. I know how Virgil acts if he even thinks he's down. You don't even got to tell him he's down. If he thinks he's down, I know how he's going to react. Yeah, it's the truth, Frank Bay. It's the truth. That's what I've been hearing, bro. That's what I've been hearing. Oh, but he was herky-jerky. He was fainting a lot. You don't know how confusing that is, bro. Okay, fine. So it's just, is it me or is it the guy that went in? So let me get this straight. We get on. I'm not saying he did like what Shakur does. I'm not even putting that shit in the same category. Bud Crawford is a different breed than Shakur. I think Shakur is in a league of his own of being hesitant. I don't think anybody should be up there with Shakur. Shakur is the king of not wanting to get hit in a fight. And as long as he continues to fight like that, his whole career is going to be like this. Matter of fact, speaking of Shakur, I saw someone ask a good question, actually. They said, where did I see it? Somebody had said, and I'll get right back on Crawford in a second. Somebody had asked, all we know from Shakur is he doesn't want to get hit and that he wants to outpoint you. But what happens if he fights somebody that, that catches him, or he gets into an actual fight? We don't know, right? So I saw Madrimov and Crawford that to me, it wasn't even an exciting fight. I still give the fight to Crawford. I still do put blame on Madrimov. I really do. But it's not like I'm taking all the blame away from Crawford either. I see fight of the year with two fighters, and because people don't like the way the decision went, they want to trash the other dude. But to me, he left it all in the ring. And to me, he answered a lot of my questions. Like, I know what happens if he gets rocked. I know what happens if he gets dropped. I know what happens if he thinks he's losing. I don't know that with Bud at 154. I don't. And then on top of that, you got people that are like, nah, he shouldn't fight Bud. Nah, he got knocked down 2 times. He shouldn't fight Bud. Who, Boots? Oh, nah, Boots is a pay-per-view star. He's not on pay-per-view. Yeah, no. Who you want to fight Bud, bro? Who y'all want to fight Bud? I'm getting tired of this shit. I say let them all fight, bro. Fuck it. Like, how many tune-ups you want to give Virgil, bro? He was in there. This is the problem, too. Boacek was a champion, bro. Y'all, just last week, y'all were like, but Matrimov's a champion. It doesn't matter if he's got 10 fights. He's a champion with a big amateur background. Herky-jerky. No, Virgil fought a champion. I don't know, man. Hell yeah, I want to see. You damn right, bro. I don't know. I just see a whole bunch of excuses, bro. And yeah, that's another thing too. Like, how many tune-ups you want to give Virgil? He's 26, 27 years old. How many fights you think Crawford got left? First off, Crawford done said in an interview the other day or last week, he done literally said that his motivation is gone because his motivation was fighting Canelo. That was his main motivating factor of going up to 154. Because he wants to gather another belt to kind of like show Canelo he could fight at a higher weight class. So now his motivation is not really all there. So we don't even know if Bud got 2 fights left, 3 fights left. We don't know. I know he's 37 years old, and I know he only fights like once a year. Y'all want to give Virgil another 2 or 3 tune-ups. I say throw them in there, bro. And that's another thing too. Like, Boacek and Crawford are 2 different type of fighters, bro. They're 2 different type of fighters. Boacek was keeping up with Virgil's pace. He was throwing just as many punches as Virgil was throwing. Bud don't throw that many punches. Bud stays behind the jab a lot, which is good. He's a good counter puncher. What I'm saying, styles make fights. Like what you saw from Boacek, you're not going to see from Bud, bro. It's 2 different. Just like if you was to put Madrimov in the ring with Boacek, you think that if Madrimov fought Boacek, he's gonna go in there and just do a whole bunch of feints and Boacek's just gonna be like Bud and it's gonna be the same exact fight? No. Why do I get the feeling that if Boacek fought Madrimov, it'd be a fucking firefight? Why do I get that feeling? There you go. Y'all can come up today and tell me who you think showed more in their fights, bro. I don't even got that much energy today, to be honest with you. I'm gonna start calling some of these channels Bud channels, bro. They're not even boxing channels. They're Bud Crawford channels. That's what they are. I used to laugh when people would say witness protection program because I honestly didn't see that. I didn't see that. I was like, nah, I ain't. They're just fans of Bud. No. There's witness protection programs going on in the YTBC, bro. They literally don't want this fucking man to fight anybody, bro. Anybody. It's it's only if it's Canelo. A rematch with Spence. Like anybody else that's like a threat. Nah. I don't want to see him fight. Nah. Why? Why wouldn't you want to see him fight Virgil? To me, that's a good fight. Virgil and Crawford's a real good fight, man. That's a real good fight to me. Bro, it's either that or I don't understand. Like, why I saw so many people talk about, well, Virgil's not ready. He showed he's not ready, right? Knowing Crawford is 37 years old with like 3 fights left. Bud is 37 years old. Bud is 37 years old. Virgil is 26, 27, right? To me, Virgil, the way Virgil fights, bro, he's always gonna. Every fighter needs room for improvement, but Virgil's style, he's always going to need improvement no matter where he's at in his career because he fights off pure instinct and pure emotion and pure, I'm going to bully you, bro. I'm going to bully you. I'm going to hit you hard with body shots. I'm going to try to get you the fuck out of there. I like that. But that type of style always leaves you open to get hit. But it makes you dangerous. It makes you very dangerous, especially when you got somebody who is willing to get knocked out, who's willing to fight harder if he thinks he's losing, or you drop him and he gets mad. So people look at that and oh man, Bud will tear him up. But he ain't ready for Bud. No, fuck that. No. I want to see what Bud Crawford does when somebody's bullying him, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and just fucking assume, oh, he tears fucking Virgil up. No. I want to see what he does when Virgil's on that ass. Pause. I want to see what he's gonna do, bro. Y'all want to make all these excuses not to see it. It's fucking weird to me. And then on top of that, bro, like, you know what really got me like kind of like fucked up is like, I like Bud Crawford, right? I like him, right? And I feel like people were giving him passes on the fact that he fought Madrimov, who's a champion. He is a champion. That's why I wasn't getting on Madrimov. That's why everybody that was like, man, who the fuck is a cherry pick? A lot of people were like, man, it's a cherry pick. And I'm like, it's not a cherry pick. He's moving up in weight. He's fighting a champion, right? It's not a cherry pick. And then he gets all these passes because it's Madrimov and he's a champ. Whoa, Bohachuk was a champion. It was for a belt. What are you talking about, bro? You talking about my background? What do you want me to put, a WBC belt back there? You know, another thing too is I'm gonna say this. I do realize why some people are upset with the fact that there was 2 knockdowns, right? Because people are like, well, if there's 2 knockdowns, right, then you're telling me he didn't win 3 more rounds or something like that, right? We looked at the scorecards yesterday. We looked at how they had him. The first round was a 10-8 round to Boachuk. The 8th round was a 10-8 round to Boachuk. All 3 judges had 10, 11, and 12 for Virgil. That 9th round, 2 judges had it for Virgil. 1 had it for Boachuk. I believe the 6th, the 7th, and like one of the earlier rounds, the 6th to 7th were swing rounds. Were swing rounds. One of them, 2 of them had it for Boachuk. One of them had it for Virgil. The other round, 2 of them had it for Virgil. One of them had it for Boachuk. So they were all swing rounds. So if you give the swing rounds to Virgil, yes, that's how it comes out. If you give the swing rounds to Boachuk, then it comes out he's the winner on that side. What is so hard to understand? Then they want to look at that, but then they disregard the punch stats. I don't really, a lot of times I hear people say, I don't want to look at the punch stats because it's just one dude there sitting there clicking a button, and sometimes they don't even land. Okay, y'all don't want to go by anything, bro. You just disregard. When it's somebody you like, oh, you want to count everything. When it's somebody you don't, you disregard everything. Right? You fucking can't win, bro. It was a tight competitive. Well, look, either way, I want to see Virgil and Bud. And by the way, we're not going to see Tszyu. You heard what and by the way, bro, I don't know what the Turk is doing. This guy's starting to piss me off, man. This guy's really starting to upset me. Like, as a boxing fan, like, he's fucking shit up now. He literally was like, Tszyu, nah, I don't want to do business with him. What did he say? And I'm looking at him like, yo, Tszyu's like a major player at 154, bro. Hold on. Oh, wait. Yeah. Hold up. I got it. Okay. Is it fight hub? Give me a second. Fight. Okay, hold on. So hold on one second. There you go. It's that one. It's on that one. Okay. Let's go over here. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Fight Hub TV. Hold on one second. I see you in the background. Hold on, man. Hold on one second. Let me show this real quick. Shout out to Fight Hub TV. But this is what he says about Tszyu.
Great fight. Did you have it as close as the cards, or did you feel Ortiz won, or both with your corner?
I think it's a draw.
I thought it was drawn? Yeah. Do you think, based on this, he's ready for Crawford, or there should be a rematch?
I said before, and this is my opinion, I don't start to talking about these things. He start and he said he respect me. Support to have rematch like this.
Yeah. And finally, what do you make of Canelo's most recent?
I will not work with Tszyu.
Oh yeah, here we go. They asked him about Tszyu.
but now he's in the audience. Who would you like Tszyu to fight since you want Ortiz to fight Crawford next?
I will not work with Tszyu.
Well, what happened?
Let him in his way. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
How about Fundora? Is Fundora in the mix?
Look how he is, bro. Yeah, for real. For real. He was like, oh, it's almost like, oh, he don't do anything I say. Fuck it. That is weird to me. Yo,
what's up?
oh, what's good, man? It's you. Oh, man, you had a different name up.
Yeah, it's
What's
it's
good?
Cheeky Verge. What's up, man?
So what you got to say about this situation? I look, man, before you say anything, I just want to say this. Try with the question, regardless of who you like, whether it's Crawford or Virgil, just be straight up. Who you think showed more in their last fight?
Oh, definitely Virgil Ortiz. I mean, both guys, Virgil Ortiz and Bokachuk. Yeah. Sergey Bokachuk. Both guys. I mean, look, man, they left it all in the ring.
Yeah.
That's what we expect, man. When I buy a fight, when I watch boxing, I want to see two guys leave it all in the ring. And when I watching Crawford and Madrimov, I can say I had a draw, but I'm pissed at Madrimov. I think he gave it away. You could say he gave it away. And Crawford, did he do enough? I guess he did enough in the sense, like, he threw more punches, but he didn't leave it all in the ring either.
I think Crawford did enough. I've already said that. It's just weird to me how it looks like to me the person that played it safe and didn't take much chances gets more praise than the dude that left it all in the ring. And to me, when I look at that and I wonder, well, then you wonder why a lot of these young men don't even want to put their O on the line.
Yeah, you mentioned a good point.
That's the truth. That's the truth. They're not.
It is.
In their mind, they're like, well, if I leave it all in the ring, but I lose, they gonna get on me anyway, and then I lose.
Well, they don't even want to get dropped. Getting dropped is like the worst thing in the world now. And Nui got dropped. Tszyu got dropped. That's like the worst thing in the world now.
Look,
yeah.
In a boxing fight, when people get hit, you be hearing these dudes like, man, look, Boots was getting hit. It's a fucking fight, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you made an excellent point earlier. You said, you mentioned the copy box stats and then people want to use them when it fits their narrative, and then they want to dismiss them. But it's also like when if you're on social media, Twitter, Instagram, everybody that was at the fight, ringside, reporters, critics, they all said it was a hellacious fight. I mean, you could hear the shots. People got the Instagram reels where they're you can hear Virgil's body shots. You can hear Sergey's right hands.
Bro, I watched it again today. That shit was crazy. The pace was crazy.
It was nuts, right? I mean, this isn't
crazy.
This isn't two 108-pound guys throwing flurries. Not to disrespect those guys, but we know what we're watching, right? These are like fucking super middleweights by the time the fight starts, and they're sitting digging in. I mean, they're getting full leverage. When you see Virgil step to the side, you hear Gabe Rosado, who was excellent that night, and he was telling us, Bohachuk's hurt. Oh, Virgil got hit with the hard right hand.
Bohachuk was hurt a couple times. And Virgil looked, I think it was, because I watched it again, and it was the 11th or the 10th round. So Virgil throws this uppercut, this long-winded uppercut, and you could clearly see it hurts Bohachuk. Virgil don't have enough steam in him. I'm looking at Virgil. He wants to finish him, but it's like he kind of like, I'm guessing in his mind, he's like, I've been dropped twice already.
Oh, dude, I was screaming at the television. He's hurt. Go get him. Go get him.
Yeah.
I was like standing up in front of my TV, looking stupid in front of people. And I'm like, get him. And I mean, even Rosado's like, he's hurt. You could see him wobble.
Of course he was, Tycho. Of course he was.
I think Bokachuk was more visibly hurt. I mean, look, man, if you watch the fight, you see Rosado and the commentator say he's hurt. They're telling his legs just buckled.
Bohachuk was more visibly hurt, but I do know he stunned Virgil a couple times because there was a couple times where Virgil he stopped the momentum. But the one thing I noticed about Virgil is anytime this motherfucker felt like he was in trouble or anytime he felt like he was down, he dug down, bro, and went forward. That makes you people don't really, that makes you so dangerous. Like people look at it like that's so stupid. You could get knocked out. Yeah, but it also makes him dangerous, bro, because it means he's willing to leave it all in the ring. And I don't know how Bud's gonna act when somebody's bullying him like that. I don't. You can only imagine. You can kind of think what Bud's gonna do. You hear all these dudes like, man, if Virgil tries that shit on Bud, he gonna get countered with an uppercut, and Bud gonna keep him on the end of a jab. Yeah, but what happens when if he doesn't? What happens if Virgil just keeps coming forward, bro? And it's
that
7, and it's round 8, and it's round 9, and he's not stopping. What happens? You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't.
Yeah, I mean that. What we seen Saturday night was a fight. What we see Madrimov and Boxer, and Madrimov and Crawford was boxing. Yeah, it was high level boxing. Saturday was a fight. A fight broke out, you know, and that's what Crawford doesn't want, right? Like if you take guys like Crawford and Shakur, what do they always say? And when you hear them talk, they don't want to fight. They want to slow the pace. They want to get in a shell. They want to be able to pot shot. And their main modus operandi, main objective is to take the fight out of the fight and slow it and just.
Well, I don't put Crawford in the same category as Shakur. I've seen Crawford, like besides that Madrimov fight, Crawford tries to finish you. He tries to finish you. I don't know. I was surprised at the last fight. I really was.
Yeah, and I feel like strictly based off the last fight.
I feel like that's why Canelo said what he said about Bud too, by the way. When Canelo said that he feels that Bud felt the difference at 154, I believe that's what he's talking about, because at 147, every single fight that Bud had for the last 9 knockouts, every fight he had, he would start off at a certain pace, and then around like 6, 7, or 8, he would turn it up and walk that motherfucker down and get him out of there. He didn't do that with Madrimov.
No, he's a bigger guy.
Right.
You couldn't just. It's same with Virgil, right? We're used to seeing him steamroll guys. He's at a higher weight, and he can't do that anymore. Benavidez was not able to steamroll. We just seen that guy Morrell wasn't able to steamroll. We get so caught up in when these guys are steamrolling people, but you always got to keep back of your mind like, wait a minute, something's not adding up here. There's got to be a trick or a catch here. You know, when we were talking about the Devin Haney fight, right? Devin Haney was able to stand in front of guys. He was able to stand in front of Cambozo, no problem, right? But once he met a guy with his physical attributes, he was not able. He thought he could stand in front of Ryan, and that was his biggest downfall. Even his own fans knew. Why'd you stand there with him? Well, shit, it's a fight, man. And someone hits you.
I got a question. Like my question for the people that don't want to see the Virgil fight. My question is, name an opponent that fought similar to Virgil that was damn near. To me, he's 27 years old. He's at his peak athletically. Maybe he might need more experience or whatever. He's still, bro, at 27, bro. To me, Virgil's as good as he's gonna get. He can add on a little bit, but to me, that's just how he fights, bro. That's just how he fights.
Yeah, it's his mentality.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
If you're a fighter and you're facing a boxer, your main attribute is going to get the boxer to break his fight, right? You have to make him fight your fight. You got to get him to want to exchange with you. That's your bet. Like how many times we see brawlers go into it with a pure boxer and we get pissed because they don't let their hands go. They just kind of get frozen in this guy moving all night. Like Pitbull, right? Ryo just kept moving. He would never let Pitbull get set. You know, that's what we want to see, man. It's up to the pure boxer to slow the brawler, or the brawler to get the pure boxer to open up.
You know, another thing too that had me, because now like I'm looking at it looks like Crawford's only gonna do business with the Turk. Now, you got to keep in mind, Crawford only got a couple fights left, bro. I'd say maybe at the most 3. 37 years old, only fights once a year. I'd say maybe 3.
2, man. 2.
Maybe 2. Right. Maybe 2 fights left. Either way, it looks like he ain't gonna re-sign with a promotional company again. He's better off just going with the Turk, at a one fight basis. You know what I mean? So now I look at the Turk, and then you got the Turk saying, "Oh, well, I don't want to. I ain't doing business with Tszyu." So now that fight's off the fucking table. Now we know we ain't gonna fight Tszyu, right? And you got everybody like Virgil. I don't want to see him fight Virgil. I don't want to see him fight Boots. Who do you want to see this man fight, bro?
Yeah, they're used to him being able to just sit there and fight one time a year, and so it's easy to remain on top if you just sit there and don't fight. I'll fight one fight this year, then he'll come back next August. It's easy to stay on top.
Did he drop his belt at 147? Because he had a
Yeah,
belt. He did drop it.
Norman just got elevated.
No. Oh, Norman just got elevated. Let me see. Okay, so Norman's got 2 belts. Oh, he got elevated. Okay. So now he's literally the
Full-fledged email champion. I mean, he fought the interim. He beat Centillion for the interim, but I mean, you should have to beat the champion. But I mean, hey, if it's a vacant belt, that's just the way it goes sometimes.
Hold up. Hold on a second. It says Terrence Crawford / Brian Norman.
Yeah, it was just on social media today, Twitter.
So Terrence Crawford dropped it. Brian Norman is now the official WBO champion.
He got elevated, yes.
So what is he still the WBA?
Who? Terrence Crawford? I think so. Yeah, but now they said that the BoxRec doesn't recognize the WBA.
This is Boxing Scene.
Hello, did we lose Shadow? Shadow, are you there? All right, well, I guess it's my show now. Just kidding.
Yeah, I don't back myself out of my own channel. Hold on a second. I'm trying to see. Let me see. Let me go to the WBA. Hold on. Terrence Crawford. So they still have this is what I'm talking about though. This is why I'm starting to get annoyed, because it's like they don't want him to fight this guy. They don't want him to fight this guy. He still got a belt at 147. You don't want him to fight Boots, right? You don't want to fight Boots. You don't want to fight Virgil. He's not gonna fight Tszyu now. It's like I don't know what's going on, bro. Yeah,
I mean, he's an older fighter.
I don't understand why a guy gets more flack for leaving it all in the ring, but the other guy, to me, played it safe and he's getting more praise. It's just weird to me. Like I say, let them both fight. And this is like a consensus type of thing, bro. I mean, it's not just 1 or 2 people seeing it. All day I've been seeing it. Virgil ain't ready for Crawford. Virgil ain't ready for Crawford. Virgil ain't ready for Crawford. So Virgil ain't ready. Boots ain't ready for him. Nobody's ready for him. So nobody he fights nobody then.
Maybe Virgil's not ready, but there's not going to be another chance because, like you said, he's older.
That's my whole point, bro. That's my whole point. Like he's only got like 2 fights left. I don't want Crawford's last 2 fights to be against guys that I feel like he's gonna beat easily, bro. I want at least a couple of fights where I'm like, yo, he could be in trouble in that. Let me see. Right here, like I said, you got Terrence Crawford still the WBA super champion. WBO. Hold up. That's the wrong one. News mention view. Mail. Oh, you got to log in for this? I ain't doing all that. Oh wait, right here. Junior middleweight, our champions. All right. Well, before I look at this, fuck it. Hold on. I know he's the WBA super because they just said it on his. So if he's got a belt at the WBA and now he's got a belt at 154, what does he do for 147?
That's a good question. I don't know. All I heard was that he uses it for leverage. Somehow that's negotiating leverage for whatever reason.
I agree with that, bro. I said that before when he was with Top Rank, yeah. But that doesn't. That's then. That's then. Nobody's stopping him now from doing that. And my whole thing is this, man. I like Bud Crawford. Like I do. I think he's a dog, and I just want to see these fights. And I don't think, me personally, I think Virgil should fight him. If he's not going to give the rematch to Boachuk, I don't see a problem with it because to me, Virgil isn't. I don't know what you see, but I think Virgil's always going to fight like that. I think he's always going to fight like that. I think that's just who he is, bro. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that to me. That's exciting as hell.
he actually deviated though. He actually boxed more than he usually does. Like I say, he's what was he 20-0, 20 knockouts. Like
He had 100% knockout streak prior to that fight.
yeah, I mean when you look at that, you go, oh man, this guy's a killer. But then if you follow boxing, you go, man, you know what? That's way too good to be true. You just can't look at 20-0, 20 knockouts as a boxing hardcore fan. You're gonna be skeptical, right? Like,
Yeah, and
nah, this
that's another thing too. So Fundora now, right? So is Fundora fighting Spence because Spence isn't clear? Last I checked, they haven't even cleared. What the fuck? Listen, Spence, first of all, bro, like that is kind of weird to me that this man hasn't fought. And I don't know, like the last time he fought Bud, and they didn't clear him for a fight. That's just weird to me. Either he's got some issues going on in the background or he's still fucked up. I don't think he's ever been the same since those two accidents, but 154 itself and it is a division full of sharks, bro. That is probably the deepest division in boxing. I was looking at it, bro. I think it's as far as like fights that could be made, and
they just had that Cromwell guy. He looked impressive.
Bro, I'm telling you, 154 is fucking monstrous, bro. It's monstrous.
These guys, the Cromwell guy, Jesus Ramos, Eric Lubin's the dark horse. You know, he can get people problems.
And you know I like Erickson Lubin. I think he gives anybody problems on a good night, bro. Erickson Lubin's tricky, bro, and he's got power, bro. And he's got power.
Yep.
He's got underrated power, and you know he's got heart because when Fundora was beating the brakes off him, he came back and dropped Fundora.
Dude, the first 5 names: Crawford, Ortiz, Tszyu, Fundora.
I mean, check this out. Listen, I said this yesterday. Forget the names. Just listen to the styles, like the type of styles, and I want you to think of the matchups. Xander Zayas.
Xander Zayas. Man, I'm gonna try to come back. I gotta do something real quick.
Yeah.
Keep cooking. Thank you.
Xander Zayas, Erickson Lubin. Let's throw in Errol Spence, Tszyu, Jesus Ramos, Charles Conwell, Madrimov, Fundora, Boachuk, Virgil Ortiz. Even Vito Melanecki Jr., which, by the way, Vito Melanecki Jr. looks huge, bro. He looks huge. I remember when Vito looked like a little skinny kid in high school. Is he in Snack? Is Vito in him? Vito looked big as hell, bro. I guess he just grew into his. I guess he just grew. You look at Vito from the other day till now. I'm gonna pull up a side by side. That is crazy to me. Vito Melanecki. Look at this, bro. And then last night, let's go to who did he fight his last fight? Hold up. Who did Vito fight in his last fight? This guy right here, Toth. Okay, so Vito Malinecki Jr. versus Toth. Yeah, there he goes. And then I look at him from a long time ago. Hold on a second. Now let me see. Oh, he's always had somewhat. No. There you can see a difference. He's filled in a lot, bro. Like he's like grown or something, bro. Because he wasn't that big. Yeah. He's from Jersey, Tycho. Yeah. Vito Malinecki got a loss, don't he? He got a loss. That's another thing too, man. Like a loss doesn't define you, man. There's a lot of fighters who done turned around even after a couple losses, man. What's his name? Who's the one that upset Elijah Garcia? The one that fought David Benavidez. You know what I'm talking about? He was always pretty good, actually. He just fought good competition and took losses. What was his name? The dude that beat Elijah Garcia. Hold on. Kyrone Davis. Kyrone Davis got 3 losses. He done turned his whole career around. You got to remember, he fought David Benavidez. He fought Anthony Durrell. I think that Anthony Durrell fight was controversial anyway. That's my whole point, Hey, Steven, that's my whole point, bro. Boachuk was a champion. Madrimov was a champion, right? I get it. Bud moved up in weight. Bud had to fill out a new weight. That's why I wasn't really like so hard on him, because it's like, bro, he's in a new weight class. He went straight for the champion. I don't care if he's got 10 wins or 10, whatever. He's still the champion. He had an extensive amateur background, and we all know that Madrimov hits hard. So I never said it was a cherry pick for Bud or nothing. I'm like, no, that's a hard fight, bro. Right? So he goes in there. He wins the fight. He turns it up the last 3 rounds. I give it to him, right? Virgil goes in there. He fights a champion. Has fight of the year. Gets dropped twice. Showed me every time he got hurt, he wants to get up and fight and come forward. He's willing to leave it all in the ring. And he gets shitted on. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like he gets shitted on. Like, and then I'm looking at it like, and I see a lot of these fighters, they don't want to put their O on the line, and all these dudes are hesitant. You got like Shakur. Shakur don't even want to get hit, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck are we doing, man? Like, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Shadow Ghost? What's good with you, man?
I'm good. Go ahead, man. Speak on it. What you think?
Yeah, man. Like I say, it was a good fight, man. I think the topic is you trying to who showed more, Virgil Ortiz or Terrence, or how they would match up.
I mean, to actually, what I mean by that is like, I couldn't explain it in just for the small title. It's on a thumbnail. But basically, what I'm trying to say is they both fought champions, bro.
Right.
Terrence Crawford, to me, he was hesitant. And they're saying, oh, it's because the dude was herky jerky, a lot of feints or whatever, and he had power. Okay, I get it. Virgil fights a champion. It's fight of the year. He gets dropped. He gets up. He comes forward. He shows me a lot. And it's like I feel like he gets criticized for that, for leaving it all in the ring, while another guy gets praised for being safe.
Well, it depends on who you're talking to. Terrence Crawford got a lot of criticism for that fight. Got a lot of criticism. He got a ton of criticism. You know, so I think I think it's the same way when you're dealing with different fan bases. You know, a lot of people. Virgil Ortiz got a lot of praise, then he got criticized. Like I say, if it wasn't a double standard, it wouldn't be a standard at all. So when it's a fighter that you like, you're gonna praise that fighter. You know, if that would have been, you know, somebody like Jerron Ennis or Terrence Crawford would have got knocked down or had a really, really tough fight.
In front of you said that, bro. You know what I was thinking? Can you imagine if that was Jerron Boots Ennis, bro? They
be calling him a hype. They be calling him a hype job right now. They be saying he's a hype job.
Right. But meanwhile, Boots would have got up 2 times, went forward, left everything in the ring. They'd have called him a hype job. It's fucking crazy. It's like they would have said he's exposed. Exposed for what?
Exactly. And like I say, it depends on what fan base, who you talking to. As far as Virgil Ortiz, both fighters won. So at the end of the day, you know, I mean, to be honest, Virgil, they should rematch that fight. It was that doggone close. But
I watched that fight 5 times, five straight times, bro. They could fight 5 times, bro. Stylistically, it's just a good fight, man.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a rematch, you know. But the thing about it, business-wise, it may not make sense because, of course, you want to move on to the bigger fights so you can make more money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was a great fight, but those type of fights right there, they take a lot out of your career, man. All the thing that I've seen.
I'm glad you said that. So look, this is another thing. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's another thing too. So Crawford is 37 years old.
Yep.
I'm guessing he's got at the most 3 fights left.
Yeah, Crawford. He'll be 37 in a couple months. I think 2 or 3 months. He's 37.
Right. So as far as Virgil goes, I said this last night. I said he's got a great style, but that style can only last you so long because it takes a lot out of you. However, I don't think he's gonna change, bro. That's just how he fights, bro. He fights with emotion. Right. He comes forward. He tries to bully you. I think it's exciting. However, we all know as time catches up and you keep having wars, and you ain't gonna be able to do that. So to me, I'm like, why wait? Throw him in there now against Crawford.
What the thing about that, he's going to have to make adjustments at 154. He cannot fight that type of style at 154. He's going to get knocked out. He was able to get away with it because he was 140. He was just so much bigger than those guys. He was freaking steamrolling them. You know what I'm saying? At 147, he couldn't make the weight, so he had to move up. And at 54, you can't. Those guys are too much bigger and much stronger than the guys you've been facing. You're not going to be able to fight that style. That's why he couldn't get. What's his name? The Ukrainian guy, Barachek. That's why he couldn't knock him out because he's a bigger guy. You know, he could take what Virgil was dishing out. So Virgil's going to have to make an adjustment in the way he fights if he wants to stay at 154. He's not going to be able to steamroll those guys. They're much bigger guys.
Honestly, Coach Eddie, I just think that's how he fights, bro.
Yeah. I mean, but like I say, one thing about Mikey Garcia fight, not Mikey Garcia, but Garcia. I can't forget his brother's name. But yeah, he's a good trainer.
Robert Garcia.
Yeah, Robert's a good trainer, but I guarantee when they get back in camp, Robert's gonna tell him, look, he didn't listen to Robert. He listened well, but he let his emotions get in the way. Robert was telling him, hey, look, man, you need to cool down, man. Cool down. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Virgil's an emotional fighter. I like that about him, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, he was dead tired and still throwing 100% into his punches. I'm like, dang, you ain't got to do all that, bro.
Yeah. That's gonna be his freaking day.
You can let off the steam.
Exactly. And to me, that's gonna be his downfall. That's gonna be his undoing. You know what I'm saying? Because he'll literally get hurt, and instead of holding and clinching, he'll try to fight out of it. I'm
I love that shit, bro. I love that.
I know, but as a trainer and as a fighter, yeah, we love it as fans. But that's how you get knocked out. if you're hurt and you're trying to fight out of it instead of holding and clenching and getting your weight, getting your wits back about you.
Hold on a second, Coach Eddie. Hey, Jason, that's my whole point, brother. It's my whole point. I want to see the fight. I'm not gonna sit here and just assume, oh, Bud beats him. Okay, so I mean, we could do that with anybody, bro. Right. We could just sit here and go, oh, okay, Boots and Crawford, nah, Crawford beats him. Fuck it. We don't need to see that. Virgil and Crawford, nah, we don't need to see that. We saw Virgil get dropped twice. We know Crawford smokes them. No, that's not how the shit works, bro. That's not how boxing works, bro. The triangle theory doesn't always work. What's good for this guy is maybe not good for that guy.
But there was something very telling in that post-fight interview in the ring, is that they mentioned the Terrence Crawford fight, and he said, "Yeah, I would like to take that fight." But then Virgil immediately pivoted, and said he would like to fight the winner out of Fundora and Spence. To me, those are more favorable matchups than fighting a guy like that.
I think they're gonna. Hey, you're breaking up, brother. You're breaking up.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I think the Spence and the Fundora fight is a better style matchup for Virgil.
Well, I think it's gonna matter on what's going on with the Turk too, because I to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind seeing Tszyu and Crawford, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen now either.
To me, I don't think Golden Boy takes the Terrence Crawford fight. I think they go after Fundora and Spence. That's what I'm in Dallas Stadium. That's what I'm thinking.
Do you want to see Spence and Spence and Virgil? I don't want. I'm not really too interested in that. I'd rather. Would you rather see Virgil and Crawford or Virgil and Spence?
Well, it's for the. I guess, but it's a bigger money fight. I think because they can move that fight to to Dallas Stadium.
Yeah, right. It'll be in Texas. Yeah, I know.
And that means they could probably put 100,000 people in that freaking Dallas Stadium. It'd be a huge fight, man. As far as money wise, it'd be a good fight. And if he's able to win, then now he's coming to the table with a real belt, not an intern belt, but a legitimate world title, which will give him more leverage when he fights Terrence Crawford. That could be like more undisputed belt.
Hey man, you're breaking up again. You might need to come on out and come back in or something.
Okay, am I still breaking up?
Well, you're okay now, but then it starts breaking up after like 5 more seconds.
Oh yeah. Oh my bad. Yeah, I think like I said, either fight is good. For me, Virgil, I think if he fights Terrence Crawford, I think it's going to be like Floyd Mayweather Canelo. It's going to be too early. But I mean, you got to take the shot. You got to take it because
look, Crawford. I need to see more Crawford at 154. I don't even know how Crawford does against Fundora. I mean, listen, I would favor Crawford. To be honest with you, me personally, I favor Crawford in a Virgil fight because of his experience and I do think he's patient and I do think Virgil gets real emotional. But that's what I love about that. And I also think that there's a flip side to that, bro. That's what makes him very fucking dangerous, by the way. That's what makes him very dangerous, bro. Because you might think you got this motherfucker hurt, bro, and you fuck around and get caught. Because he's bro, you have to kill him. You have to kill Virgil.
Yeah. I would tell you what would be a good fight if this guy was still around. Brian Castano and Virgil Ortiz. He's talking about action packed right there.
He's still there, isn't he?
I hadn't seen the guy in a couple years. I don't know if he retired or what.
Let's see. Where is Brian Castano?
And like I say, Fundora, just him being so doggone big, he's gonna be a tough out for anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? Now if you're a big one punch type of fighter, then you can get Fundora out of there because his defense is trash. He got like probably the worst defense at 154.
It says Brian Castano doesn't have a fight scheduled, and his last fight was May 14th, 2022 against Jermell Charlo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He may be 200 pounds right now. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. Those guys stop training, they blow up. And speaking of Jamel Charlo, if I'm Jamel Charlo, I'm trying to get back in the mix, man.
Yeah, Jason, excuse me for saying this, buddy, but as a boxing fan, I'm gonna be straight on it. Now, this is just me personally. It's like one excuse after another when it comes to Bud, bro. If it ain't this, it's that. If it ain't that, it's this. He ain't fighting him because of this. He ain't fighting him because of that. He ain't fighting him because of this. He ain't fighting him because of that. We don't want him to fight Boots. We don't want him to fight this guy. We don't want him to fight Virgil. We don't want him to fight. It's just one fucking excuse after the other, bro. And that shit just gets me. After a while, I'm like, bro, just fucking fight, man. Just fucking fight, bro.
Well, he's got options. He's in the driver's seat, you know what I'm saying? So he's gonna pick and choose who he wants to fight. You know, just like once those guys get to that level, like same thing, like Canelo. Canelo picks and chooses who he wants to fight, and that's what happened. These guys get to that level, they get to that stage in their career, and they're like, I'll pick and choose who I want to fight, and that's what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean that it is what it is at the end of the day. Floyd did the same thing. He picked and chose who he wanted to fight.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jamel come back. Where's Jamel?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would like to see Jamel get back in the mix, but he's been out of the ring for so freaking long. He's gonna need a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what happened.
When is Jamel really taking a tune-up? Jamel about that. That's the one brother I'll say he ain't scared, bro.
Yeah, but like I said, this dude been out of the ring over a year, right?
Yeah, since the Canelo fight, yeah.
And, you know, a lot of time those guys, man, they ain't living clean. They out, they partying, they drinking, they getting out of shape, you know. So I don't know what type of condition he's in. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the heck. But yeah, you know, Terrence Crawford, Virgil Ortiz, I think that Crawford will probably be a heavy favorite in that fight. Not like nothing stupid, but he'd probably be 5-1.
I think
minus 500, something like that.
I think honestly, no matter who Bud fights at 154, he'll probably be the favorite.
Yeah, he probably will be. Yeah,
I can't. If he fights Tszyu, he'll probably be the favorite. If he fights Virgil, he'll be the favorite. If he fights Spence, he'll be the favorite. If he fights Erickson Lubin, he'll probably be the favorite. No matter who he fights, I think Crawford will be the favorite, which is why I'm like, just let them fight, bro. Like, he's only got 2 left, and I just want the next 2 fights to be against. I want to see Crawford in a fight where I'm actually like, oh, he might lose this one, because I didn't really feel that way with Spence. Because even though Spence had the accidents,
right?
Leading up to the fight, I could just see like the training camps, and I'm like, man, Spence looked like he's just trying to make weight.
To me, at 54, probably the biggest challenge at 54 for Terrence Crawford to me is probably Jamel Charlo, if he ever comes back. You know, because the other, 154 is a stacked division. They got a lot of talent at 154, man. It's a lot of talent.
You got a lot of dudes that could probably give Terrence, like Jesus Ramos is a huge fucking, like, huge advantages. Like that loss to Lubin was controversial.
Sure, Erickson Lubin. 154 is 154 is stacked, man. 154 is a stacked division, man. It is stacked. Any one of those guys to me can win on any given night, man.
I mean, look at this. Look. You got Alexander Zayas, you got Erickson Lubin, you got Tszyu, you got Jesus Ramos. You could even throw in Charles Conwell and even Vito Melanecki Jr. You got Madrimov, you got Fundora, you got Boacek. I mean, this shit.
It's a stacked division. It's stacked.
It's stacked, bro. It's stacked. You know what they should do? They should do one of those tournaments, bro. The Super Series 6.
Yeah, that'd be something that Turk LFC got to put together.
Man, a 154 tournament would be perfect right now, bro.
It's a stack. I think it's the most stacked division in boxing.
In there, this would be the best time to put a fucking tournament on, like a Super Series 6, bro.
You know, Terrence Crawford ain't gonna go for that though.
Why?
He know he ain't going for that.
Why? Why?
I don't see Virgil Ortiz going for that either. I don't see Oscar De La Hoya putting him in the tournament just because there's too many wild cards in there. It's too stacked division. It's too many.
But why don't you think Bud? Why don't you think Bud would take that? Why?
Money. You won't cover the money. It ain't gonna be. The money ain't gonna be there.
But you just said it yourself. If the Turk funds it, right? Everyone told
Yeah,
me
but it depends on how they structure it. Is it a winner take all? I mean, I don't. I think right now those guys once they get that on their way out attitude, they're looking for the biggest fights they can make, the biggest and easiest fights they can get. They ain't trying to take nothing hard. They ain't trying to take no hard fights. And I think with Virgil Ortiz, you know how Golden Boy is. Golden Boy is great at matching the guys up. They'll match you up and they'll move you. They did the same thing with what's the big guy, the cruiserweight.
Yeah, but Oscar lately has been showing that. I understand what you're saying, because there was a time a couple years ago where Oscar probably didn't want to put his fighters on. Recently, he's been letting his fighters fight like he let Jaime fight Canelo, because that's like the ticket right there. I think
big money fight.
Right, it's a big money fight.
And a loss to Canelo doesn't do anything to your career. A loss to Crawford doesn't do anything to your career.
Right.
A loss to Erickson Lubin does something to your career. You know what I'm saying?
If Virgil was to fight Crawford and lose, I don't think it'd be that bad for him.
No, it doesn't do anything to his career. Like I say, it's all good for him. He has everything to gain and nothing to lose, because most people are gonna think he's gonna lose anyway. I think even
exactly why I want to see that fight, bro. Right there, because you already know a lot of people automatically assume Crawford gonna beat him, bro.
Yep,
they're automatically gonna assume that.
And
to me, I'm not saying that I wouldn't favor Crawford. I am. I'm saying I don't know how Crawford's gonna do against somebody who fights like that, pressure and stays on him. And what happens if Crawford since he's at 154? What happens if he can't put him away? So how's he gonna keep handling that pressure? I don't know how he's gonna react to that.
But the thing about that's what the great fighters do. The great fighters take their attributes away. Somebody like Mayweather was able to take Manny Pacquiao's best attributes away by holding him, tying him up, and cutting his punch output in half. That's what you do with a guy like Virgil Ortiz. You cut his punch output down, and that's what wisdom and experience does. And Virgil's not gonna be throwing 800 punches at Terence Crawford. Crawford ain't gonna let him throw that many punches at it. And that's his biggest advantage is his activity. That's it. Outside of that,
I honestly I think that's what he exactly will do if he fought Terence.
He ain't gonna be able to do it.
Why?
Because the more he lets his hand go, the more he's gonna get a hit.
That's exactly right. See that's what I'm saying. You guys automatically assume that Virgil's gonna come forward, Bud's gonna hit him, and Virgil's gonna back up, or Virgil's gonna get knocked out. I'm telling you, bro, what happens if he fucking keeps coming forward, bro?
Right, he's gonna probably wind up getting knocked out if he keeps coming forward. I don't see him winning.
You don't know.
I don't know that. Hey, but that's why we don't know any. We don't know what happened to any of these fights. But I would say if I had
because I look at Boachuk and I look at Crawford and I just know that fight's not gonna go the same, because Boachuk don't even fight like Crawford. Crawford's gonna stay behind that jab, right? He's gonna stay behind that jab. I know that I want to see Crawford in a fight where somebody's trying to keep coming forward.
How many punches? I think what's the name? What's the name of Ortiz? I think he throwed over 700 or 800 punches in that fight.
Yeah, he threw a lot of punches.
When mark my word, if they fight, that punch output is gonna be cut in half. I guarantee it. It's gonna be around in the fours. You're gonna cut, because that's what great fighters do. They know how to cut your output down in half by keeping distance. Measure. See, Boachuk, if you notice in that fight, there were no clinches in that fight, man. Neither one of them clinched.
No, Virgil was clinching sometimes. I saw Virgil holding a couple times, but yeah, it was mainly just offense, mainly. Yeah. Yeah,
it wasn't any clinch. So anytime you start introducing clinches in fights and holding and stuff, that's gonna cut your output down right there automatically, just by somebody just grabbing you and holding you and tying you up. So I just don't think, unless Crawford gets old overnight, I don't see him I think the fight I think it'll go the distance. But I don't know, Virgil. To me, Virgil, he gets so reckless with his offense sometimes. He just freaking just. To me, he doesn't fight.
I think he's emotional. He's an
Yeah,
emotional fighter. You know.
yeah, he gets reckless, man.
I think that's a negative, but there's also a positive. I've always said there's a positive that comes with that. Just as much as the negative thing is you get reckless, you can get dropped or whatever. But you flip that over, bro. Your heart, your determination, and your will is what's going to keep you standing on your feet and wanting to win. So
Yeah,
on the flip side, it makes you dangerous as well, bro.
Yeah, if the thing about Virgil T, he's vulnerable. I mean, he's an entertaining fighter because he does bring that element that hey, I can get knocked out at any time too.
So,
because
here goes the thing. I don't see too many difference in the approach that Boots fights either, because everyone says, "Oh, he'll stop Boots." Boots is offensive minded too. Very.
I think Boots has better defense than Ortiz. He slip punches better. He's
Boots
more
too,
defensively,
bro. Boots be getting hit too,
but not like that though. You know, 'cause I don't know. I think Boots he has a better defense than Ortiz. And like I say, and if freaking Barudchik, if he could punch, if he was a puncher, Ortiz would have been in trouble because he ate some pretty nice straight right hands, man. He ate some punches, man. And I guarantee when they go back to the drawing board, I know Robert Garcia is gonna be like, look, we can't fight. We can't continue to fight like that.
Let me ask you this. After watching that fight, you think Virgil's got a good chin or a bad chin?
Well, it probably is worse. It's worse than it was when it went in. It's not the same. Now he takes a good shot. He takes a good shot.
Yeah, he does. That showed me he does take a good shot, bro.
But for how long though? Like you said, you said it earlier. You said it yourself. You can't continue to fight like that. You're not going to have a long career if you fight like that. He's going to have to make an adjustment if he wants to stick around. If he continues to fight, how old is Virgil?
26, 27.
Okay, if he continues to fight like that, he'll be retiring at 32. If he continues that style of fighting, he'll be done. He's going to have to make adjustments because, like I said, you got to remember where he started his career at. He made his bones at 140. That's where he got all his knockouts at 140. He was a weight bully. Keep it a buck. He's a weight bully. At 147, he couldn't even make 147. He made all his bones at 140. He was steamrolling those guys. He's not going to be able to steamroll guys.
You mean 147? You mean 147, right?
He didn't start a career at 140?
No. I mean, when he was steamrolling dudes at 147 too.
Yeah. But then he couldn't make the weight. Then he got where he couldn't make the weight anymore. He freaking started killing himself. Started going to the hospital. So he didn't really have that many fights at 147. I don't think. I thought he made most of his bones at 140.
Let me see.
How many fights does Virgil have?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. So he had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights at welterweight.
Okay.
And then
so he started his career.
Before that, he was at 140. Actually, yeah, he started off the first 5 fights was 140.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to 145 for 2 fights, went back to 140, went to 143, then 146, then just decided to just do 140. Maurice Hooker is when he first was like 140. No, I'm sorry. Brad Solomon is when he started at no. Herrera is when he started welterweight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fights at welterweight, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then he couldn't make the weight anymore. So, like I say, he's coming with the same attitude that he had at 140 and 147, thinking he's going to steamroll guys. Because he go back and watch that fight. The first round, he came out there trying to knock the dude out the first round. You know, he really did. He came out smoking just right out the gate.
Yeah, Virgil's very offensive minded, brother.
But he's gonna have to make an adjustment at 154. That's not gonna work. He's not gonna be able to steamroll those guys at 154. These guys are much bigger. They can take those punches. As we all seen. We seen that last Saturday. You can't come up there and steam. These guys been at 154. You're coming up. So those punches that you used to hitting guys with and they're falling out, You're not knocking those guys out no more. You're not knocking these guys out. They're bigger guys.
Yeah, but we could say that we could say we could say the same for Bud.
Absolutely. I want 100%. The knockouts are done at 154. Bud's not knocking nobody out at 154. It's over with. That's his ceiling. He's not knocking Jamel Charlo out. He's not knocking none of those guys out at 154. Same thing with Virgil Ortiz. He's not knocking those guys out at 154. They're gonna be able to take his punch. So he's gonna have to make an adjustment, in my opinion. If he continues to come out fighting reckless and thinking he's gonna steamroll everybody, he's gonna run into a rude awakening. He come out and try that crap with Tszyu, he's gonna wind up being freaking flat on his back.
Tszyu and Crawford. Look, I don't look, Bud. To be honest, I can't say anything because Bud didn't show me enough in that fight. I don't know whether he could take a punch at 154. I don't know whether his power really does carry that much. He didn't really do much.
It was respectable. Bud had respectable power at 154. The reason why I say that because the guy, what's his name? Madrimov. Yeah. Madrimov told you we never seen Madrimov fight like that. Most of the time, he's way more offensive than that.
And I never seen Bud fight like that either.
Exactly, because he's fighting a much bigger, stronger guy than he's used to fighting. So that's what happened when you move over to these different weight classes, man. That stuff that was working on the smaller guys, it don't work on those guys, and you have to make an adjustment, and that's what it's all about. There's no such thing as somebody that's a super boxer. You have weight limit, you have weight classes for a reason, and like I say, Bud had to make the adjustment because them guys are big, they can take his punch, so that's why he had to stick to boxing and trying to outpoint the guy and be smart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta use your head.
Well, hold on. Before I get out of here, because I didn't want it to be that long of a live.
Yeah, sure, man.
154, right? So 154, we got Fundora is the WBC and the WBO champion.
Right.
Bud Crawford now holds the belt at I think he's the WBA now because it hasn't been updated on Boxing Scene. And then the other guy, I can never say that guy's name, Murtzavalov or Backroom, whatever.
I can't pronounce that guy's name.
Yeah, the IBF. Let me just make sure that that's updated real quick. Let me go over here.
Another thing Bud need to do, he need to let the 147 belts go. He's holding on to those belts for no reason.
All right, so here we go. Here we go. At 154, WBA, Terrence Bud Crawford. WBC, Fundora. Virgil Ortiz is the WBC intern champion. IBF is that dude Backroom. WBO is Fundora. And then the WBO intern is Terrence Crawford.
Right. Yeah, so and like I say,
so Bud is the intern at WBO, but the WBA super.
But he's gonna be elevated. If once Fundora and Spence fights, they're gonna strip Fundora WBO. They're gonna elevate Bud.
Wait. Why is Bud? Hold on. Why? Let me go back to that. Why is he? Hold up. Let me share the screen. Why is that like that?
I think Fundora is gonna get stripped if he fights Errol Spence. That's what I've been hearing. He's gonna get stripped.
Right here. You see that?
Yeah.
See the WBO, you got Sebastian Fundora, and then you got Terrence Crawford is the intern at the WBO.
Yep.
And then Backroom is IBF, and then Sebastian Fundora is WBC. Virgil Ortiz is intern, WBC, and then Terrence Crawford, WBA. Why is Terrence Crawford the intern at WBO? Is that because he was the champion at 147?
Yep. Yes, that's why he's actually these sanctioning bodies, they make a mess of these.
That's weird, bro. So wait a second. They made him the intern champion without even fighting in that sanctioning body.
Yep, that's why they do it. And I'm against all that. I hate it. I hate it with a passion. I think those guys should have to work their way up, but that's how they do. Once these guys that come from these other weight classes, they'll automatically put them in, the top ranking, like the number 1 or number 2 spot. Right.
So basically what's that telling me is, so if Sebastian Fundora is the WBO champion, right, at 154, that means he could be elevated to the 160 intern champion like that and not even fight.
Yep.
Okay,
Exactly.
I
They
don't
do it
agree
all
with
the time.
I don't
They
agree with
do
that.
it. They do it. That's been the practice. They've been doing that for years, man. They'll elevate these guys. They'll come just the same thing they did with Devin Haney. When Devin Haney dropped all the belts at 135, he was automatically popped in the rankings at 140, like the number one spot. They always
So
do
if
they do that with all the fighters.
If when they asked Virgil after the fight about Crawford and then he switched, he pivoted and said, "I want to fight the winner of Fundora and Spence," right? So let's just say, let's take this out the way. So now Terrence Bud, so let's just make it like this: Bud Crawford ain't fighting Virgil, right? He ain't gonna be fighting Fundora and Spence because Virgil wants the winner of that, and he ain't gonna be fighting Tszyu because the Turk said he ain't doing business with Tszyu. So who the fuck is left for Terrence to fight?
But he should go. He can go get that other belt from that other guy, that Ukrainian guy that we can't pronounce. Which that would be a fight that would be heavily criticized.
It's gonna be criticized. Damn right, it'll be criticized because he's only got like 2-3 fights left.
Yep.
But you know why? You know why it won't be criticized as much if he's trying to become undisputed again. Then it would only make sense.
And that's the only path. I mean, somebody has to get that belt. Somebody has to get that belt. But you can also say
somebody's got to take that belt off that guy, the backroom guy at the IBF.
But like I say, the way the Turk is moving, if Errol Spence, let's say Errol Spence wins that fight, you're not gonna get Virgil Ortiz versus Spence. You're gonna get Crawford versus Spence. Watch what I tell you. They're gonna make that rematch.
Say that again.
I think if Spence goes out and beats Fundora, I think the fight that we get is Crawford versus Spence. 2, you get a rematch. That's what I think. I think that's a bigger fight than Crawford versus Ortiz. I think you get Spence versus Crawford in a rematch. If
Spence comes in at 154, bro, and fucking one way beats Fundora, I think he deserves a rematch with Bud.
Exactly. No, but it's up to Spence to take it, and I think that'll be a fight that you can sell that fight. You can say, hey, look, I was weight drained at 147. I'm much stronger at 154. I want to run it back. And I think you can sell that fight. I really do. And like I say, it's so many.
The wild card I keep forgetting is Jamel.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm here, I'm putting my. Now, what if Jerron Ennis decides to move up?
There's so many options there. You got Jerron can move up. You got Jamel, who still hasn't made an announcement yet. You always got Erickson Lubin and Jesus Ramos there. There's just a lot of options there, bro.
Because if I'm remembering correctly, I think Jamel Charlo is actually a champion in recess. If I remember correct, which means that he can come back and be right there in the number 1, number 2 spot at any time. You see, it's the sanction.
Didn't Jamel kept saying he wanted to fight Crawford?
Yeah, to me, Jamel Charlo should have never been stripped. They took all his belts, which makes no sense to me because I've seen guys hold on to belts for 25 years. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, this guy gets stripped overnight. All his belts are gone.
Hey, listen, everybody has their own personal opinion. My own personal opinion, I think Bud whoops up on Jamel, bro.
It might be, yeah. I mean, it's possible.
I don't think Jamel has a high enough output, and I think Bud's gonna stay behind that jab, but he's gonna counter Jamel. And Jamel's another one that fights with emotion.
But Jamel's a big guy, though, man.
Yeah, but the reason why I give Virgil more of it because Virgil throws a hell of a lot more punches, bro, and he's a lot more aggressive. He's a lot. If anything, Virgil's too aggressive.
Yeah, I think with Jamel and Crawford, I think you get a boxing match in that one. I think you would probably get a low 300-400 punch output out of both of those guys. It'll be more like a boxing match than a firefight. Because, like I say, Crawford, Charles, I think he's a little bit bigger. Seems to be a much bigger guy than.
I don't think
Crawford.
Size matters too much when it comes to Bud, bro.
Yeah, except now if it's Fundora, that's a whole.
I don't know how he would do against Fundora too.
Man, Fundora is a wild card, but he's a tough fight for anybody at 154.
Yeah,
I mean, just off the sheer size, man. But only downside about Fundora is his defense is so goddamn leaky, man. And if you can land the right punch on him, he already showed you can take him out. He's like Tszyu, Fundora.
Oh, with Brian Mendoza?
Yeah, his defense is so leaky. Even Tszyu freaking shattered his nose in the second round. I think if it wouldn't have been for that head cut, I think Fundora probably would have got knocked out.
Tszyu and Crawford would be a banger, bro.
With big punchers.
Tszyu and Virgil would be a banger.
And I'm gonna tell you who I would really favor. I would favor Tszyu in that fight. I'm gonna tell you why.
Against who?
Against Virgil.
What about Crawford?
I think Crawford would use his legs and be able to outmaneuver. See that's the thing with Crawford. He knows how to use. He's just so much. He has so many more wrinkles than all those other guys. You know what I'm saying? Not taking that from him, but Crawford, he's well seasoned. He can do a lot. The only thing was concerning me about Crawford is he's getting older. You know, and I mean that's the elephant in the room right there. I mean, you know, basically 37, you're the old man in boxing, man. You shouldn't be competing with these young lions.
Yeah, but he's a gym rat though, you know, so he kind of gets away with it, you know.
Yeah, but it's gonna be that one night, you know, where you might turn old overnight, as they say. Now with Tszyu, I like Tszyu because he at first I wasn't too high on Tszyu. I was a critic of Tszyu, but then he showed me something when he dispatched Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison was a shell of himself. Don't get me wrong, but he was able to take away Tony's jab, and he was able to counterpunch Tony. And Tszyu, he's sneaky. He has a little sneaky right hand that he lands on guys, man, and it has a lot of power on it. You know, and that's the thing with Virgil. I think Virgil gets so reckless sometimes with the defense. I think Tszyu has excellent timing, and his hands are heavy enough. If he hits you, he can do damage. I mean, against anybody, he can do the same thing against Crawford. If he land a good punch against Crawford, he can hurt him too. I just think Tszyu's a heavy-handed dude, man. You know, if you really want to keep it all with both hands, you know.
Bro, Virgil's heavy-handed, bro. Virgil can fucking hit, bro. I'm telling you. I just think Boacek just has a good chin, bro.
I think the most heavy-handed puncher at the 154, in my opinion, is probably Tszyu. I think he has the heaviest hand out of all those guys, man. And I'm not a Tszyu fan. Like I said, I was a critic of his, but it just seemed like to me he just has some type of thudding power where he hits these guys and they get concussed. You know what I'm saying? It's
Steven, maybe if he fights the IBF, he'll take that belt off him, and then maybe Crawford could fight him then. I don't know, but I gotta head off, man. I appreciate you.
All right, man. Hey, good talking to you, man. I'll talk to you later, bro.
All right, take it easy, bro. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. I went a little bit over than what I did. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.